Good afternoon, this is Todd Colvin coming to you from the floor of the CME Group. We are looking at FX, and the euro currency continues to decline, although it has slowed a bit. Recall last week we were trading near those May and June highs, near 118.5. We didn't quite get there, but we were close, and then we've seen about a 2.5% reversal going back to last week. A lot of it has to do with the Fed and the FOMC and the strength of the dollar, but also we're starting to get some more negative news, some more fundamental news, which is not helping. I think it's starting to see a little bit of momentum gain. Now, we did get close to 115 today. Interestingly enough, the 2-year midpoint is around 114.5, and that's a level that we've danced around back in August. We dipped below it for a very brief moment, but now we're back above it, and probably we'll use that as our first landing pad. 113 is really the line in the sand here, technically speaking. So you have that 113 to 118.5 range. We've had trouble getting outside of that, at least over the short term, and those are the two levels you have to watch closely. Next, let's look at the ECB. Well, the ECB, in charge of rate policy setting, they talk about monetary policy and bond purchases. Well, they're right now hemming and hawing, not only about who's going to be sitting at the head of the table. Mr. Draghi resigns next year or leaves office next year. They're talking about future communication of rate hikes. Now let's take a look here. The ECB hasn't raised rates going back to the financial crisis. They've been buying bonds. They're going to continue to buy bonds. They want to slow their bond buying and end it sometime in early 2019, although that is highly suspect to how the market will react. Now, that would lead to rate hikes in 2019, which have not yet happened yet. When you talk about what's happening with Brexit and the credit markets, with the dollar, with trade, there's a lot of other things to be kind of focusing on here than talking about rate hikes that haven't happened yet and how you're going to communicate it to the market so it doesn't get over its skis, so to speak. So right now, the ECB, I'm not really sure where they're going with that. They have a meeting coming up later this month. And then lastly, let's talk about Italy. It's what's been making all the headlines here. Their budget woes continue. It's starting to sort of spread out. You're looking at bond spreads widening between Italy and Germany, widest we've seen in a long time, with the idea that there are risks out there. And if something happens politically in Italy or they move towards their own type of Brexit, what are the ramifications on the euro? So a lot of things weighing on the euro fundamentally here as we near the midpoint of the 2-year range. We bust through that. I think we'll probably start to see a technical push at least down to 113 in the euro. So right now things are very suspect in the euro, especially as the dollar remains strong as we head into really what is going to be an interesting period here as we continue to get more and more discussion on Brexit with very little clarity. Obviously, that clarity will come in March, whether they want it to or not. This is Todd Colvin coming to you from the floor of the CME Group.